stand to educate us. Ewo yen WhatsApp group na ewo with me asende 0531 455 105. Now, EZRA ena ebeto dwa say the Roman Catholic Church by the special grace of God etimi akwakoyi the papacy Vatican City. Enti mo akọ Vatican akwakoyi a new pope. Now mo share on Facebook page the election of the pope. Now take me come one. The election of the pope was several process Roman Catholic go through before they arrive at a certain level. Now, to come into this level, yensha de ewo ye me board so. Come here. Now yensha de ewo me board so. Oba let me be this ten na yensha de ewo ha. So you have Pope Leo. Pope Leo ewo the private life. Yeah, we say he is an American. And the first American Obabeye Pope ewo wiase. And in fact, very interesting. I will tell you, because before this Pope, before Pope Leo, now Pope Francis was a Latin American. Now, or a Latin American from Argentina. Now, Robert Prevost, America, born on 14th September 1955, Chicago. And in fact, Chicago is a very nice city. I've had opportunity to be in Chicago. Now, June 1982, and he ordained as a priest in honor of Saint Augustine. In 1987 to 1998, Osevo Ewo Peru as a formation director, community professor, and judicial vicar. Ewo a year Roman Catholic order of presidency. In 1999, he elected as a year provincial prayer of the Augustinian province of Mother of Good Counsel in Chicago. And to way one of the societies and others in the Roman Catholic Church. In 2001, Ekokosi 2007, he elected as a prior general of the Order of Saint Augustine. What is the prior general of Saint Augustine? What again actually? December 12, 2014, you ordained as bishop. And in 2014, and from bishop from 2014 up to 2025, which is about 11 years now as a bishop. Now, almost 11 years as a bishop, and appointed as the apostolic administrator of a year Chileayo Peru. Now, April 2020, on April 15th, 2020, he appointed as apostolic administrator Emma Ewo a year Peru. It's more basically centered at Peru. Now, January 30th, 2023, he appointed as a prefect of the dicastery for bishops and president of the Pontifical Commission for Latin America. Now, he more or less the heads of the bishops in Latin America. And don't forget, say, Saint Francis Argentina from Latin America. Then you have an American Pope, elected as a Pontifical Commission for the Latin America. Ask yourself, is it a coincidence? I'll give you the detail. Just 2 years ago, Pope Francis appointed as the prefect of the dicastery for bishops and the president of the Pontifical Commission for Latin America. Pope Francis, before the demise, just about 2 weeks ago, he hails from Argentina, specifically in the Latin America. And September 30th, 2023, any created cardinal by Pope Francis assigned the dignitary of Santa Monica, and he was given the cardinal position by the Pope. And in fact, the cardinal, when you attain the Pope Francis, but you can catch yourself, I don't prefer the final solution to this. The Catholic will give us a better understanding, but this is purely academic explanation. I mean, the Emma war. We may go beyond this. We are Catholic, and we meet me a in this regard. So 3 years ago, 2 years ago, just September 30th, a cardinal by Pope Francis, and he assigned it to the dignitary of Santa Monica. Now, in just Enrea, he was elected as the, or friend is saying, the first American Pope. Now, then the story is very interesting. Utie now about Facebook page EZRA Radio, Facebook page EZRA Radio. Now, yan shade. Osha board iswa Pope Leo XIV. In Roman numeral, study numerology. Leo, in Roman numeral, these are the numbers. Number L, 50. But Leo, take away the ye on every until we can have something like Pope LXIV. Any. This is the number. We are going to decode this number, and I'm giving you a representation. Mr. Toboas and follow up. Now, Dimechi, I want to believe, say, Mobetime Zumi board, no, so now, Obi, I will share, and I will share Facebook page or UTA, EZRA Radio and EZRA TV, get understanding. Nkomona me, you know, I'm using more of board. It is a UTA Radio, maybe a name on Tiasie. But when your Facebook page and out here TV, or better understanding. In Roman numerals, and I say Roman numbers, L represent 50, X represent 10. Now IV a 4, IV a 4. And when you sum up these numbers, you summarize the numbers here until you 4. Now 10 plus 50 amount 60. 60 plus 4 amount 64. So this is Pope 64. He is not the 64th Pope. No. Now, but I may person we have some numerical understanding of Pope Leo XIV. Now, and in numbers, numerology, you need 64. And you 4, 6. Now, why are they 4 to 8? And this plus this, be about 10. 10, you found as 1. Now, 1. The number 1 is first. And this is what you have. Now, you ready? Try me waha. Oh, show me your Facebook page. Oh, show me your TV. Radio EZRA Radio on Facebook page. Now, try na bra be share there waha. Before this Pope, you share Pope's power edinanim. This is Pope Benedict Onye. Pope Benedict. And this is the third Pope and Sana Yeba Francis. So you have Benedict and motion the picture no. Then another, this is Pope Francis. Pope Francis see a Pope with free wa Yeba Benya of friend is saying Pope Leo. Now my memo video we more share Facebook page, more share TV. And right down, this is the Vatican City. This is the city in Rome. In Europe, Italy, and this is what you have here. So this is the Vatican City. And then now watch this video. I'll give you some understanding of your worship. Enra, this is a bright body. Now opie a free the room and a cardinal election. So watch this. This man behind him is also a Latin American, and I will tell you the sequentials of event. Now this is the prefect of the Rome papacy. Now watch this. Papa Inie, every pope ever the style, ever the beliefs, na ideologies, and the principles. Before this day, among the popes, the possible names are near Bobo and Sana. Yababa beyi womo a yesusu se ometimi yababa ye popsa. As a matter of fact, na di din ewo mu bi. And manfo gidi se oye a bit liberal and a much of a democratic point of view. A liberal means a omo ye soft, na omo ye very consecutive in the Roman Catholic ideology. Pope Benedict was changing. He was a conservative. Adianu saying na Catholic etie, don't change it, don't bring it down. But Pope Francis na ononso ye liberal. Na niema bi wo ho a ojai tumu onfa obi aho, even LGBTQ onfo so. But of course, oma won kasentia omo protect them, and about immigration kra no a aban should give relax the way I hear Tata immigrants and that. Now this is the American Pope war. Now and let me give you the history and the background of these individuals. Now watch this. This is Pope Benedict. I'm going to share it on Facebook page, EZRA TV, EZRA Radio. Now watch this. Pope Benedict, and so this is where we have him. Now watch this. Oba Pope Benedict on 16th of April from 1927 to 31st December 2022. And he was the head of the Catholic Church. And watch this, from April 19, 2005 until Onwankasa he resigned. Ono when he resigned. He elected as Pope about 205 to the conclave. Then Ofrimu after St. John Paul, Pope John Paul II. Now on the resignation, he was known as Pope Emeritus, a titular unyaye until the death. Now, Sao Pope in 1951, and he ordained as a priest of Bavaria. Now, check this. At me with the history of this Pope Benedict. Here we are. Let me come out the history of Pope Francis. Now, when you better understand, he was appointed as a full professor in 1958. At the age of 31, the man was a gem. He was a brilliant pope, and you can't take that away. And to that professor emeritus, not because he was a pope, but because he was an academia. And he became a professor of theology at was several German universities. And he is appointed as the Archbishop of Munich and Freising. And he created the cardinal. He created as a cardinal by St. Pope John Paul, Paul the sixth, in 1977. An unusual promotion for someone who acquired the pastoral with a little pastoral experience. Until he was more of a professor, but not an auxiliary minister. Oba Yeka be an auxiliary minister. He was not into the full-time ministry. He was a minister at the same time, not OD or the secular work as a professor. And you create, and in Roman Catholic, you are created a cardinal. Cardinal is by appointment, is by the Pope and the who say, I have created you a cardinal. I've made you a cardinal, and that is what it is. Now, promotion na obiajidi say unusual. In 1981, he appointed as a prefect of the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith, one of the most important dicasteries ever Roman Korea. In 2002, until he was elected the Pope, he was the Dean of College of Cardinals. And he became the Dean of College of cardinals. Me no will come back to Saint Benedict. In the story way, what they falio at all, and mama with the understanding of the last 3 popes. Ayenya babeduha. Now, oh share on TV, oh share our Facebook page, oh advantage, but we tell radio. Nkomoni nyina no pay our live on EZRA TV, EZRA radio, and it said the Roman Catholic have had a pope. And man for read several meanings and understanding into an American pope. Ibinu kra brande Donald Trump, ayaya no pope, atade and all that. MCR was a video now, but him they are so quickly now for and on just on the lighter notes. And man for bisa, why is American person becoming more pope at this time when Donald Trump is trying to say obey Zumi the world superpower and authority. Edu baby America na nko ye lusu omo that brand into Donald Trump aba with all the radical approach. On China echo he has a problem with the Brexit or taking over the Canada or the taxes ahodo and egu obia we import niama from America. And these are issues ahodo ekoswa anopay me pesa wote asem. Now watch this. So Pope Benedict until an appointment, now a dean of the College of Cardinals, and more or less cardinals I have a group, and the dean of them, who is the person that supervises them, monitor them, regulate their activities, was Saint Benedict. Before becoming a pope, now he had been a major figure on the Vatican stage for a quarter of century. Pope Francis, we not on Shadam Bang of anything, Rome. Now on Shadam, you're close to the Rome. Not on your Juma Bebre, but Saint Benedict was somebody not almost everywhere in the Vatican City. Now or you noon. Now be or he had a series of it. Now he had an influence on second to none when it came to setting the church priorities and the directions. And in fact, now very, very powerful. I know be who say uninti saying the offender saying I'll come back to Pope John Paul. But in the meantime, you're dealing with this Pope Benedict. Now watch this. So he was next more or less in command to St. John Paul, because Benedict now are very, very powerful, because now are academia, and in every field aspect of life, academic are very important. And now Oyobia from the consecutive, the watchers of the Roman Catholic doctrines. Pope Benedict now we from the gatekeepers of Roman Catholic doctrines. Entity in every Christian and religious authority or sect. You won't call for the gatekeepers of the faith, the doctriners. Omona equipe the faith, the Roman Catholic to I took the example of Pentecost. Yenya one a Pentecost apostle general bibaya os duku kura yebono yensesano enye chenchene twanse uboduku biem. When you become the head of the church, with decision influence the door and I'll bet me push say this is what I want us to do. And of course, as the Pope, the head figure of the church, Bible can say was soon a messy massa for the AC as some other print me for your direction and focus, and I will champion you to work through. Emma sorry no ediwechi. So one time Pentecost ebenya apostle general bia already or say du kukura ye moko asore no enye chinchine twan. So your mom jai and Pentecost 40 the duku echo. But Pope Benedict then was one of the gatekeepers of the Roman Catholic doctrine. Yancy Rosary. Ye nyai we Roman 4 we say ni ade onyane dem we denara they will follow it. The liturgy, you can liturgy said you see sorry the rituals, the ceremonial rituals of the church na ebia ewu. Now, number 4 say he was originally a liberal theologian, but adopted the conservative views after 1968. Now, me my example say there were two types of ministers. Asofobia ebedia sorry anymore. We have the liberal ministers. Omo the any said, okay, asoni say, we are say so let us modernize it and don't take it or leave it. Roman Catholic Church, we are the dayo, ujayo. They are the fathers of religion in terms of Christianity.